So now, why don't you tell us a little bit about your role with the NSCA specifically? What is your role? What are your responsibilities?
Right now, I've been in this position for roughly 7 months, and I think my first 7 months of being at the NSCA is I'm developing an education curriculum for the tactical side. We're going to break it down into 3 levels. Level 1 is almost complete. This goes in from the moment you walk in a facility to recovery, or excuse me, warm up, all the way through to recovery, to include correctives, basic movement patterns, power, speed, and just teaching the basics of strength and conditioning. So once that's complete, then we're going to move on to level 2, where we start to get into mental toughness, periodization models. So level 1 is how do I make a program, and then level 2 is here's how I piece these programs together. Let's see, what else do we have in there? So we got mental toughness, nutrition, periodization, and then we start to mix in a little bit more research. So if we look at the baseline back to level 1, that's all hands-on. The main intent is hands-on and getting reps in and teaching, you know, the little things of why we do these movement patterns in these specific ways. And then, so then level 2 is 50-50, a little bit of hands-on and a little bit more science. Okay. And then we get to level 3. That's the latest and greatest research that's out there. We're going to start to bring that in and then teach that, and then the practical applications of that and how it had an impact on each of the different subgroups, meaning military, police, fire.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
that's what I've been doing for the last 7 months, and then training our SWAT team down there as well. Yeah, I'm ready to start to teach more and then get coaching more.
Yeah, it sounds like you really kind of fell in love with that teaching piece.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's always fun to work with the athletes, but I get, to me, there's this you feel this like you're finally giving back. Right, where all these years we've been taking in this industry, and now we can give back. And I find with myself, anytime I educate, I learn so much more. Yeah. You know, based on the questions in the room, based on, you know, a perspective that somebody may have when they look at your material, right? So that's cool to see it kind of come full circle, where you know, as a student now as to an educator. So
yeah, and that's one of the big things that over the years, my transition as a coach is I see my job more as an educator, a teacher, and not just the person pointing, go do this, but to give them more information, not to overload them, but just give them the quick fixes of why. You know, if we're squatting and you're going valgus, just don't tell them to push their knee out. Say, hey, we got to push this out because of X, Y, and Z, and create the need for that cue to take place.
Well, I always say too, hold yourself to a higher standard of education, and you know, we can easily say, you know, push those knees out, but is that actually correcting the default if you don't understand the underlying mechanism that's making that happen? So that's cool.